The night was silent except for the faint hum of a vacuum cleaner echoing through the marble halls of the corporate tower. Under the dim glow of the office lights, Maria, a weary single mother, was scrubbing away at the spotless glass table of the CEO's office. Her hands trembled, not from fatigue, but from the tear-stained letter she had just found in her daughter's school bag. The words were written in crayon, clumsy but cutting. "Dear Mom, I know you're tired, but do you still remember what your laugh sounds like?" Maria froze, the mop slipping from her hand. For the first time in years, she realized she wasn't just cleaning floors. She was slowly cleaning away her dreams. Maria's days blurred into one another. Long hours, short paychecks, and an aching heart that refused to rest. Every evening, when the city lights began to twinkle, she made her way to the towering glass building of Silverstone Enterprises, where she cleaned the offices after everyone had gone home. To her, the CEO's office on the 40th floor wasn't just another room. It was a reminder of everything she couldn't give her daughter, Sophie. The velvet chairs, the family photos in golden frames, the fresh flowers replaced daily. It all belonged to a world far from hers. Sophie was only 8, but she understood more than Maria wanted her to. She never complained about secondhand clothes or instant noodles for dinner. She only asked one thing. "Mom, will you come to my art show this Friday?" Maria had nodded, but deep down she knew the truth. Friday nights meant overtime. That evening, while wiping the CEO's desk, Maria's gaze fell on Sophie's backpack she had accidentally brought along. Inside was the letter. The childish handwriting and the uneven lines carried a weight no adult words could. "Dear Mom, I love you. But sometimes, I think your smile went to work and forgot to come back." The words broke her. She sat on the CEO's leather chair and sobbed quietly. Her whole life had been about survival, rent, bills, and Sophie's school fees. But in her struggle to provide, she had stopped living. At that very moment, the door creaked open. Standing there was Ethan Reed, the CEO himself, a man in his mid-30s, sharp suit, eyes tired but observant. He wasn't supposed to be there that late. Maria jumped up, wiping her tears in panic. I'm sorry, sir. I'll leave right away." But Ethan didn't scold her. He looked at the crumpled letter in her trembling hand. "Is that from your daughter?" he asked gently. Maria froze. For the first time, someone saw her, not the cleaner, but the mother behind the uniform. She nodded, ashamed. She thinks I forgot how to smile." Ethan's gaze softened. He picked up a framed photo from his desk, a woman and a little boy. "I lost my wife 2 years ago," he said quietly. "And my son stopped smiling too." The silence between them was heavy but human. Two broken hearts, both hidden behind long nights and lonely rooms. Before he left, Ethan said something that lingered in her mind long after he was gone. "Maybe the people who clean up after us are the ones holding us together." That night, Maria went home and placed Sophie's letter on her bedside. For the first time in years, she didn't fall asleep crying. She fell asleep dreaming of change. The next day, Ethan called the janitorial company. Maria thought she was about to lose her job. Instead, the HR manager told her, "Mr. Reed asked to meet you again." When she walked into the office, Ethan smiled kindly. "Maria, I read your daughter's letter," he said. "It reminded me of something my son once wrote to me. You're a good mother. You just need a chance." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a scholarship application for Sophie. A full scholarship at a private academy. Maria's hands shook. I can't accept this, sir. It's too much." Ethan shook his head. "Kindness isn't charity. It's a chain reaction." Over the next few months, life began to shift. Sophie's laughter returned, her drawings filled their small apartment, and Maria began attending evening classes sponsored by the company's new Employee Education Fund, a program Ethan started after meeting her. Maria was no longer invisible. Her coworkers noticed her confidence, the way she smiled now, the way she believed in something again. But true kindness often finds its way back when least expected. One evening, Ethan collapsed during a company dinner, stress, exhaustion, and grief catching up to him. When Maria heard, she rushed to the hospital without hesitation. She sat by his side as he recovered, whispering, "Don't forget to rest. Your son needs your smile too." It was the same compassion he had once shown her, now returned in full. Years passed. Maria had moved from night shifts to a full-time office assistant position. Sophie was thriving. Her art had won awards, her laughter echoing through their home once more. Ethan often visited their home for dinner, his son becoming Sophie's best friend. Over time, what began as an act of kindness grew into something deeper, a shared sense of family, healing the wounds they both carried. But the most powerful moment came at Sophie's graduation ceremony. When she was called to the stage, she held up her diploma with tears in her eyes and said, "I dedicate this to my mom, who cleaned the world's offices but never stopped cleaning hearts with her kindness. And to Mr. Reed, who reminded us that compassion can rewrite destinies." The crowd stood in silence before erupting in applause. Maria wept openly. She looked up at Ethan, who smiled with quiet pride. The letter that once broke her heart had changed everything. It had built bridges between pain and hope, strangers and family, loss and love. As the sun set that evening, Maria whispered to herself, "Sometimes, one small act of kindness is all it takes to start a new life." And in that moment, she knew kindness was not just a virtue. It was a legacy. Moral of the story: one act of compassion, no matter how small, can ripple through hearts and rewrite entire destinies.